Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the President has requested that Congress appropriate additional money to fight COVID. Senator Van Hollen just referred to it. Do we have that money?
I feel like I'm getting into fiscal policy here. I really want to leave this to
Yes, sir, but
you
do we have that money?
Do we have that money? Well, in the sense of a
Do
positive
we even have
bank,
5% of that money?
I don't know what you mean by have the money.
Will we have to borrow the money?
I think we're running deficits, so I think a lot of spending is on the basis of borrowing.
Right. Okay. Let me ask you about the sanctions on Russia's central bank. The West has sanctioned its bank. And you say it is, or some say that it has basically prevented from Russia from using those foreign reserves because they're foreign reserves. They're not in Russia. They're in other banks and other countries. Has China joined in that sanction?
No, I don't believe so.
So if China wants to, it could support the ruble, could it not?
In theory, yes.
Okay. Now, does that sanction on the foreign reserves of Russia by the West, does that stop dollars and euros from coming into Russia?
I think other sanctions do. They're not getting any hard currency, and I think a lot of payment in dollars into Russia is coming to a grinding halt. Mm-hmm. By the way, I should say we're really not responsible for sanctions, as you obviously know.
You're not responsible for climate change either, but that doesn't stop the Federal Reserve or for elementary and secondary education. But that hasn't stopped the Federal Reserve from having an opinion. Not you, but some of your colleagues. Now, the West has said, the President has said, we're going to throw Russia out of the international community, and we're going to throw Russia out of the international marketplace. And obviously, we all agree with that. And he sanctioned everything. But he hasn't sanctioned Russia's energy. Europe is going to continue to buy Russian oil and gas, despite the fact that Europe has 1,000 trillion cubic feet of natural gas that it refuses to produce. And America, right now, we're continuing to buy Russian oil. So how are we going to throw Russia out of the international community and global markets if we don't attack their oil?
And that really is a question for the elected government, by the administration and particularly the Treasury Department.
I know, but I'm asking your opinion because you're a smart man.
I appreciate that very much, but my opinion is that it's not something I would have an opinion on as Fed Chair. It's just we don't do energy policy, we don't do sanctions. We're technical support. We're not the policymaker. So it would be like the Secretary of the Treasury coming in and talking about monetary policy.
Okay, let me take you back to the spring of 2020. Governments shut down the private sector in virtually every country. Markets are panicking. Everybody's looking at you to calm things down. You did. You did. And one of the things you did, aside from the currency swap line that you established, well played. You said we meaning the Federal Reserve, are going to provide capital to American businesses. Okay? And you did. And you kept us going. And I thank you for that. Suppose, though, the Federal Reserve had said at that time, we're going to keep American businesses going and we're going to supply the capital, except we're going to use this opportunity to bankrupt the oil and gas community, the oil and gas sector. Where would we be today if we'd done that?
You'd be very unhappy with me, and appropriately so.
Why is that?
Well, because
some of your possible new colleagues think we should have done that. Because Raskin has talked about that, said we should have taken the opportunity to at that point to bankrupt oil and gas.
So I don't want to get into the
I just thought I'd slip that in. I'm not asking you to comment on Ms. Raskin, our reserve trust, or the other things that we need to get to the bottom of. I'm asking you to tell me what would have happened if we used that opportunity to bankrupt the fossil fuel industry, as Ms. Raskin suggested we should.
Well,
strike the Raskin part. That makes you nervous, I can tell.
I just, we're a creature of law. You passed the CARES Act. It didn't say anything about picking and choosing, and we weren't going to do that. We didn't do it.
You think picking and choosing is a bad idea?
I think, we actually